Hey, poopers! Welcome to hashtag straight poop. You know, that Princess Margarita, she wanted a special pizza, you know, with basil and tomato. She scared the hell out of the cook in the back of the, pizzeria in Naples or whatever. So I'm making a pasta margarita. Here I've got some unusual ingredients. I've got cannabis oil. I've got anchovies that I smashed them into like a paste. Okay. Yeah, good stuff, man. So I'm making that. And I've got pasta that's already made. So there's cannabis oil in here. There's basil powder because, I grow a lot of basil and then I dehydrate it and I put it in a grinder. I got a grinder for my weed and keep, and I got a grinder for my, spices and stuff. And here's the hint, keep it clean, just throw a piece of bread in there. Okay, so I got some tomato paste. Oh, about a tablespoon. I learned this trick watching Food Network years and years ago by some Italian guy, chef. He had a ponytail and he wore Converse All-Star high tops. I used to wear those too when I was in my teens. Low tops at Sport Mart were like $9.95 a pair. High tops were an extra buck. You can only get them in 3 colors, black, white, and navy blue. But this guy wore orange, I think. I don't know how much Converse are now. I wear Pro Keds. So yeah. But yeah, he said, don't put it in raw, just fry it. So that's what I've been doing. I did another video on that too. So I know he had a show on Food Network, but they shut him down because of his restaurant, or I don't know, sexual harassment and maybe stealing tips. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, probably something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Leave me a comment. Teaspoon of garlic. Hollywood scuttlebutt. Hollywood is very servile place. Like Chicago, Illinois. Wasn't like that when I was growing up there. But now, I won't even go to a Cub game or a Hawk game. Or a Bears game. Well, the Bears are going to be playing in Hammond. Because they're brilliant business people. Okay, what did I do? I added garlic. And I added some sun-dried tomatoes that I have macerating, or marinating, in a jar. And cannabis oil. And just some herbs. And it's been macerating in the fridge in a jar for about, a few weeks. Got a little bit of vinegar in there, and I'm going to stir that because when I add the cream and the stock, I don't want it, turning bad. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Just turn that up. Look at that higher. Okay. That is half and a half. Half chicken stock. Now I'm going to season it. Chicken stock that I use is low sodium. And I've used very little salt. And I'm going to incorporate this, and the cream is going to naturally thicken, okay? Because after you take a look at my pro tip that I put together, a chart from our cookbook, we'll come back here, the sauce will be thick, we'll add the pasta, we'll add the cheese, we'll put it in the PYREX, then we'll bake it off, okay? Thanks for joining us here at Hashtag Straight Poop Poopers. Take a look at one of our pro tips and then join us back in the Cucina Italiana. Larry's pro tip. Enjoy. Hey poopers, welcome back to Hashtag Straight Poop. Alright, it's reduced down to half. And I've got the anchovies in there. I've got freeze-dried basil powder, my garlic, sun-dried tomatoes, cream, and chicken stock. You know, I've got pre-cooked pasta. And I dump that in. Okay. Just stir it around. After that, man, I am going to add some grated Pecorino Romano. Put it into a PYREX, and I'm going to cover it with shredded mozzarella. And I'm just using regular shredded mozzarella. I'm not using, you know, buffalo milk, although I have used that in other recipes here, but not in this application. And let me get some dried basil, even though we have the basil powder in there. I'm going to guess it's about a teaspoon. Okay. All right. Let me turn that heat off. I've got the oven preheated, 350. I'm going to keep it in there for 35 minutes because this sauce got the pasta warm. It's not cold. It was sitting. I took it out of the fridge after boiling it last night, and it's been sitting out for an hour, so it wasn't quite room temperature. Now, I don't want to turn this stuff turning to paste, so Pecorino. That's why I turned down the fire, because I don't want it melting. I just want to mix it in, okay? Just nice and gentle. And when it gets to the point, it'll melt a little bit in there. PYREX. What I did was I just took some olive oil, poured it in, took a pastry brush. I would use for anything. Brush sauce on something, you know, got it in all the corners, all the nooks and crannies. You know, it's kind of shaped like a hockey rink. So if you were to talk about hockey, I got it into the boards, I got it into the dashers, got it into the sidewalls. Not to be confused with sidewalls from a tire. Okay, man. You just push this in. It's not going to stick because, like I said, it's got olive oil in there. And this is not going to be a thick, like casserole, like a lasagna would be. Okay? It's thin. Comes out kind of thin. Should come out crispy too because of the cheese. Yeah. You know, I tried it with Italian style breadcrumbs. Didn't work all that great because they burned. Then I tried it a second time with lower heat, and the recipe came out like kerplunk, kaput. So I'm doing it this way. It's going into the oven for like 35 minutes. I'll take it out and I'll scoop you out a plate. Okay, poopers, thanks for joining us here on #StraightPoop. My dogs love having you here. So we'll be back in a minute. Hey, welcome back, poopers. Our pasta is ready. Oh, look how nice and brown on the top. I just took some dried parsley and topped it. That's about it, man. You know, 25 minutes in the pan, no problem. Easy to make. You should make it too. Grab our free cookbook. It's in the comment section. The link should still be working. I posted it 3 times. If not, get to my description page and my email address is there. I'll get it to you lickety split, toot sweet, right away, andale, rapido, you know, quickly. So our dogs, my wife's dogs, our Shelties love having you here on #StraightPoop. So we will see you next time. And like I always say, if you're waiting on me, you're loafing. Hang loose.